everyone again. Um, Sorry about my live earlier on. For some reason, it just wouldn't work. But I am a bit stubborn, so here I am again. So basically, this is a weekly review of everything that we spoke about during the week. And I thought it would be a good idea to end the week with it so that you could remember what we learned and what we went through during the week. So let's dive in. So we covered failure versus growth, the importance of breaking things down, why it's important that our roots go deep, and acknowledging the beauty around us. First of all, failure versus growth. What did you think about this one? It really is something to think about, right? I mean, if you think about it in this way, failure is just another word in the dictionary, guys. And we can't let that govern our lives. Because I mean, if I let failure govern my life, I wouldn't be doing this video now, right? But, anyways, it's always good to look at it as more of a challenge than failure. Because with every so called failure in life, there always comes a lesson or good of some sort. And I would like to encourage you to look for that lesson, good thing or silver lining, instead of dwelling on the bad part of it. Now, I know that, it would be really difficult depending on your situation to even think about anything good. But failure is in perception. Just like the ever so famous 6 and 9, it's all in perception. What do you see it for? And if you do not look for the positivity in something, then you probably won't find it. Yeah, so failure, it's all in the perception of how you perceive that certain thing called failure, right? It's never good to search for positive when you're in a high of anger or disappointment. So no matter how bad, sad, all the negative feelings that you have, no matter how much of it you have, don't try to look for the positive when you're in that state of mind, because you're probably not going to find it, because you don't want to find it in that kind of state of mind. So when you're in that state of mind, always remember to, as I said in my new book, Ways of Dealing with Stress, SCB. Stop, calm down, and breathe. So, stop, calm down, and breathe. Stop what you're doing, get to a quiet place, or just close your eyes where you are and try to shut out the world. Take several deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now, depending on the situation and what you're dealing with, you may need to go a little longer or a little deeper with your breaths. That's fine. Just take your time and do as deep and as long as you need to. Right? After calming down, then and only then should you begin to look for the good of the situation. Try not to do it before calming down because you're probably not going to find the positive side of it. Okay? So the next thing that we went through was breaking things down. Do you think it's important to simplify things, guys? It most definitely is. Let's take, for instance, a puzzle. How do we build a puzzle? We take certain parts of it, try to create it, and then put them together, right? So basically, it's like the same thing. When you're tackling a huge problem and can't seem to gain any momentum in solving it, break it down. You know, try to break it into smaller tasks and then tackle it, and it might be easier for you to solve. Too many of us try to tackle things head on and never realize that if we break it down into smaller pieces, it just might be easier to solve. So remember to focus on the stepping stones of life and not only the mountains. So the third thing we went through was roots. So let's take, for instance, a huge, mighty, tall tree. Do you think that that tree would be there if it didn't have proper, deep roots? No, right? Because it needs its roots to keep standing and to withstand all the breeze and everything, right? And just like that, we need to have our roots going deep as well. You might remember that I've been talking about finding our why. And I would like to encourage you to focus on finding the strongest and most untouchable why, guys, so that even if anything negative comes at you, you won't be able to fall. You might shake like a tree when a storm breeze passes, but you wouldn't fall. And that is the purpose in finding our strongest and most untouchable why, to make sure that we will not fall if anything negative comes at us. So do remember to focus. Every tree needs strong roots. Focus on grounding your tree properly before branching out. Don't try to go doing all these other things when you have now started to gain a little bit of confidence and all of that. Make your mindset, make your why as strong and as untouchable as possible before you try to go out there and put yourself out there. So the last thing which we spoke about this week is finding the beauty in front of us. And let me tell you guys that I am a total nature geek. I could sit and admire a sunset or the formation of clouds or the patterns on animals. I just really love nature, you know? And isn't it amazing how wonderful nature really is? There are so many great artists out there in the world, but ultimately we all know the most amazing and astonishing one will always be God, right? Because nobody could touch him. There's so much beauty right in front of us, and it's so sad, guys, that some of us even go to our graves without even noticing how beautiful and how much beauty there is in front of us. You know, take for instance this bird. Look at the colors and the blending and everything. By just, I'm sure that many of you have one of these at home as a pet. But have you ever really noticed the true beauty of it? This amazing path. Do you think if somebody is rushing to work, they would be able to notice the beauty of this amazing, amazing path? No. It's so sad that the hectic lifestyles which we lead stop us from experiencing this beauty. It stops us from noticing what is right in front of us, you know? And my absolute last message for this week is to try and find a few minutes, guys. I mean, look at the beauty of these butterflies. You know, just try and find a few minutes and notice the beauty in front of you. Do it with a loved one, do it alone, however you prefer. But find a few minutes and just notice that beauty in front of you. God created it just for you. So why not bask in it? You know? So thanks again, guys, for all of your support. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Keep safe. And there is beauty all around us. Just stop and take a peek before it's too late. Bye, guys.